get put on the shelf like a porcelain doll. If you have postmenopausal osteoporosis and are at high risk for fracture, you can build new bone with Evenity. Ask your doctor if you can do more than just slowing down bone loss with Evenity. Want stronger bones? Then build new bone. Evenity can help in just 12 months. Evenity is proven to reduce spine fracture risk by 73%.
Evenity can increase risk of heart attack, stroke, or death from a cardiovascular problem. Do not take Evenity if you have low blood calcium or are allergic to it. Serious allergic reactions and low blood calcium have occurred. Tell your doctor about jawbone problems, as they have been reported with Evenity, or about pain in your hip, groin, or thigh, as unusual thigh bone fractures have occurred.
Don't let a break put you on a shelf. Talk to your doctor about building new bone with Evenity.
Law enforcement calls it house stealing, and cyber thieves transfer the title to your home out of your name to take out fraudulent loans or even sell it. How do you protect yourself? Get triple lock protection from Home Title Lock. Our triple lock protection gives you 1, 24/7 monitoring, 2, urgent alerts of any title changes, and 3, title restoration help from our team of experts. Do you know if your title is safe? Check your title status now at HometitleLock.com.
My mental health was much better, but I struggled with uncontrollable movements called TD, tardive dyskinesia. TD can be caused by some mental health meds.
And it's unlikely to improve without treatment. I felt like my movements were in the spotlight.
Ingrezza is a prescription medicine to treat adults with TD movements. Ingrezza is different. It's the simple, once-daily treatment proven to reduce TD that's #1 prescribed. People taking Ingrezza can stay on their current dose of most mental health meds. Ingrezza 80 milligram is proven to reduce TD movements in 7 out of 10 people. Don't take Ingrezza if you're allergic to any of its ingredients. Ingrezza may cause serious side effects, including sleepiness. Don't drive, operate heavy machinery, or do other dangerous activities until you know how Ingrezza affects you. Other serious side effects include potential heart rhythm problems and abnormal movements.
It's nice. People focus more on me.
Ask your doctor about #1 prescribed once daily Ingrezza. Learn how you can pay as little as $0 at Ingrezza.com.
Subway refreshed everything, and now they're slicing the meats fresh. That's why this Pro prefers the new Grand Slam ham.
So that's this Pro. I just love a Grand Slam ham.
And if we prefer it, we know you'll prefer it too. I knew he'd love that sandwich.
I'm Vivek Ramaswamy, and I look forward to taking your questions live.
Tonight, 9, 8 Central, only on News Nation. News for all America.
Life imitating art in an eerie way for a best-selling crime writer in California. A security camera capturing people concealing their faces. Take a look. Making their way into the backyard of author Lee Goldberg's home. Very scary. This happened in Calabasas, and correspondent Drake Clark has a closer look at what happened next.
Nicole, hello. Lee Goldberg has authored several best-selling books and written several award-winning scripts about crime, mystery, and intrigue, but it wasn't make-believe last Thursday night when a group of burglars showed up at his home looking to make a big score. Luckily, the motion sensors on Goldberg's property detected movement and let him know right away, and he could see those burglars were within feet of his back door.
They came up through right there in the bushes and crossed like this to get into our backyard.
Home security video shows a group of men bear crawling onto best-selling author Lee Goldberg's property. Motion sensors sending a notification to Goldberg's iPad.
They were dressed in hoodies and gloves, almost matching outfits.
Goldberg's home is surrounded with bright motion detector lights and security cameras, hardly a deterrent for the would-be burglars. The celebrated author has written many crime thrillers, never imagining, though, he would find himself in a real-life crime plot.
It's weird, I write about this stuff and I imagine it, but I don't think it would ever happen to me.
Goldberg's wife and daughter were also home with him when he called 911.
You can see them come up and then abruptly turn around. I think the reason was they saw me on the phone crossing this room, calling 911, and realized they made a mistake hitting this house.
Goldberg lives in Calabasas, a wealthy gated community that's home to Hollywood stars, athletes, and business moguls. The affluent community has been targeted before. Goldberg's neighbor burglarized twice. Nationally, there are more than 2.5 million burglaries annually, with more than half being home invasions, according to the Justice Department. Goldberg says the burglars he saw looked well organized and professional, like they've done it many times before.
All you can do is try to be vigilant. I'm just glad that I didn't go outside and confront them. That was my instinct.
Security experts say having surveillance cameras and a home alarm system is always a good deterrent for burglars. Meanwhile, Goldberg says he believes the men who came to his home last week may have snuck in through a nearby golf course and then hiked up a hill to get to the back of his home. Again, they did turn around and run away once they realized he was on the phone calling the police. Nicole?
All right. Thank you, Dre. Well, earlier today, Lee Goldberg joined us live on Morning in America, telling News Nation's Adrian Bankert what was going through his mind as this was all unfolding.
What's going on through your mind as you saw these masked intruders running towards your home? Or not really running, more like crawling, like tarantula style.
Yeah, my daughter says like looking at The Walking Dead, like zombies coming into our house. We happened to be gathered around my wife's iPad looking at some family photos when the iPad dinged and let us know we had movement on the hill. We thought we'd see a raccoon or a bobcat or a coyote. Instead, we see these guys coming into our backyard. My first reaction was disbelief, and then it was rage. You know, get the hell out of my yard.
Yeah.
So I went across the house. I picked up the phone. I called 911. I went across the house to turn on the lights in our backyard. And I think they saw me walking across the house. They saw me on the phone and realized, oh my God, there's actually somebody in the house. And that scared them away. I mean, my big action hero move was simply just calling for help. And I'm glad that's all that was necessary. That didn't escalate into something more violent or something out of one of my novels.
But have you seen anything like this before? I mean, was this as close to true crime that you've experienced in your community?
Yeah, well, there have been other intrusions in our community. I did not know this at the time. I found out a few minutes later that these same intruders had burglarized my next door neighbor and stolen jewelry in his safe, and then had come to my house afterward. So they were, I guess, on a shopping spree in my community and did not expect to have me at home. Again, it could have been much worse. We were very fortunate, but it was scary. It wasn't until afterwards that I realized how close we came to something perhaps more violent and worse.
Like Diagnosis Murder or something like that, you know? Like
there's not much violence on Diagnosis Murder.
I think about, these guys looked legit. I mean, they looked like, they were masked. They had an outfit on that looked like something you would see in maybe a Spider-Man movie or something. Do you think your cameras picked up on anybody's identity or I got a close enough look at any of these men?
I don't know, but the police did thank me for the video and said it had been very helpful to them. And they did come back out the next day and retrace the intruder's steps on my yard. I've heard that there might have been an arrest, that the sheriff's department will have more information later today. So we'll see what happens. Again, I was fortunate they did not actually come into my home, that they were scared off by just seeing my terrifying physical presence.
Your menacing presence in the living room.
And a reminder, you can watch Morning in America every day from 6 till 10 a.m. Eastern right here on News Nation. Well, up next, a two were sent to the hospital after visiting Yellowstone National Park. They're warning from officials about one specific mammal, and that's no matter where you live. And watch out for this wedding crowd.